My name is Harold Van, and this is my story. My name is Harold Eugene Van II. I'm 51 years old, proudly, letting my beard grow for the first time. And it's more salt than it is pepper. Might be an indication of my age, and I'm proud of it. Born in Dayton, Ohio, raised in Los Angeles, California. I had a wonderful childhood raised by a single parent. My father left, and that was the production of what I call daddy issues. But I thank God for my mother. She tried to step up and be everything to me that a child, particularly a little boy, needed and wanted. But I was very raw, undisciplined, was a sport guy, baseball, football, and girls. That was my sport. But that was my rock bottom: drinking, partying, hanging out with a whole bunch of different women, and flunked out of college. Now, mind you, I'm Christian. I accepted Jesus Christ as my personal Savior at the age of 9. I was reared in church. But it wasn't until 20 years old that I made a commitment to God that if you can do anything with my life, you can have it. And I'll never forget when I accepted my call to preach at 26 years old, there was peace. And the profundity of peace for me was purpose. And I realized why I was born, why I was conceived by Harold Sr. and Jelaine, why I survived certain intricacies of my childhood, why I survived the hood, why I survived the onslaught of Bloods and Crips and gang activity and the beginning of crack cocaine and drugs. Why did I survive? Because God was pulling me into preaching ministry. So then it was clear, a call to preach and a call to be a pastor. And it was in the spring of 1994, I made a pledge to God to be brutally honest with God and brutally honest with myself. Because I made the pledge in seminary that I would not be a hypocrite. But I knew I had a struggle, and my struggle was I loved women and I loved sex. And I could not be a pastor and fake it while preaching the gospel. Sex was my anesthesia from the pain of life. Every single time instances in life hurt me, I ran to a woman. I was seeing many, many different women on the DL. The devil would never tempt you with what your flesh does not want, because if your flesh doesn't want it, you won't fall. And my sexual escapades were increasing to where they were boundless. I'm completely heterosexual. I didn't go past that bound, but I was experimenting with more and more women. It was trying to kill the pain. In my conversation with the Lord, prayer time, and I said, Lord, you got to stop these women from coming because I can't handle it. I can't do it. So here it is. My flesh is at enmity with God, yes, and I'm battling in my spirit because I knew what I really was. But I knew it was not who I needed to be as I was heading for pastoral ministry. I repeat, I knew coming to the ministry, I could not be a hypocrite. But I'm in this duality here. We use certain things, drugs, alcohol, shopping, sex, etc., to kill pain. The deep embedded woundedness and trauma from my childhood precipitated with my daddy issues. And so when you don't get therapy for that, you start self-medicating. And that's what I was doing. I would preach all day, but I'm in strip clubs at night in North Carolina. I'm in women's houses all night long, trying to kill the pain. And that's when I discovered the grace of God. King David knows it well. that when you're in sin, God looks at the heart. It says, grace is when God gives you what you don't deserve. And I didn't deserve that covering. And here's the revelation. Transparency is not telling all of your business. No. Transparency is allowing. Let's look at the word etymologically. It's a compound word. Trans. Look at the prefix. It means through. It's allowing the light of Jesus Christ to shine through your life, that the world in fact sees your wounds, your scars, your failures, your fallings, your mess ups. And so that to the glory of God, the present purpose power of God, through your woundedness and your trauma and your brokenness, God gets the glory. I seek the Lord now for my pain killing. Life will present you instances where you're hurt, but you've got to discover, if you're Christian, God can heal you. The precipice of my falling was my hurt. I am a living testimony that black women can raise strong black men. And I point you lastly to 2 Corinthians, Paul's letter to the church at Corinth, that I would therefore then now rather gladly boast about my infirmities, that the power of Christ might be evident in me. Thank you.